welcome back to Loom Cubes. Today we are going to be looking at two very interesting looking switches. They are the G2 Dreamland linear as well as the tactile version. And the first thing you'll see is they've got crazy colors. Look at that. It's insane looking. This one's even crazier. Got a hot pink stem, baby blue housing, and then most interestingly, if you can see, the springs have this almost kind of like a blued metal appearance that changes color. I think the word I'm looking for is iridescent. It looks crazy. Very, very cool. Two-stage springs. One thing to note is these are extremely short travel at about 3.2 millimeters. I've got a long stem and they bottom up pretty quick. So that's definitely a very different feeling for those of you that are more used to the 4 millimeter travels, like myself. I personally prefer 4 millimeters for typing, but I know a lot of gamers out there that like the short travel for their games. So this might be a good choice for you if you're a hardcore gamer and you want that really fast actuation. We've got the four switches right here in stock and lubed format as per Loom Cubes tradition. Over here you have the tactile version of the Dreamland, and here you have the linear version. So first things first is these, I believe, are, as far as I can tell, not really factory lubed. Maybe a very thin layer, but I can't really see it. Yeah, so you can see not much reflection off of it. So if there is a factory lube layer, it is very, very, very light and almost undetectable. So mostly almost dry. Palm stem is somewhat self-lubricating, so it should still have pretty decent stock performance. Alright, let's dive right in. This is stock form. And now lubed. So lubing deepens the sound ever so slightly. In terms of feel, in stock form is actually quite smooth for a factory unlubed switch. I think the material is definitely doing some favors here. But when you lube it, it definitely makes a difference. The slight scratchiness is not there anymore after lubing. In terms of stem wobble, there's actually quite a bit of it. So you can see it right here, right? See the switch moving around compared to my other switches in my board right now. Yeah, this is definitely quite significant stem wobble, right? Take a look at that. It is a cheaper, more budget-friendly switch. That is definitely a bit more stem wobble than we would like to see. Now, you would think that you'd be able to film these to get rid of some of that stem wobble, but actually the housings are pretty tight. This got the Kyle style of housings with these kind of latches right here, and so the housing itself is actually really tight, and even with our thinnest films we are unable to close them. So these are not currently a good candidate for filming. We're trying to work on a version of films that will fit these, but they do not currently fit our films. So it's interesting that given the tight housings that there's a relatively significant degree of stem wobble compared to your typical Gatoron offerings. I think this is just a matter of their stem design versus the housing. You can kind of see that there is a quite significant movement available on its rails, and that's contributing to that stem wobble. It's not quite a matter of the top housing to the bottom housing tightness, it's just the stem to top housing tolerances are result in a bit more stem wobble. That being said, it is still very pleasing to type on for the tactile version. It feels really nice. Alright, onwards to the linear version. This is the stock version. And this is a lube version. think the loop version changes the pitch ever so slightly, but it's quite similar to my ears. In terms of feeling though, the loop version definitely feels nicer. Again, these are not factory lubed as far as I can tell, and there's a hint of scratchiness on these in the stock form. That being said, compared to other stock and loop switches, these are definitely one of the smoother ones, and in loop form, it's definitely very, very nice and smooth. Similarly to the tactile version, the linear version also has quite significant stem wobble. Kind of see it as I push it, and you can kind of see it wobbling versus the typical Gatoron switches that we have here. So yeah, there's still significant stem wobble, so that's something that you don't like. You can look into either filming these when we have our updated version of our films for these, or these might not be the switches for you, but if that doesn't bother you, these are very nice sounding short throw switches, especially if you like the short throw of the 3.2 millimeters. These are very nice sounding switches, pretty deep sounding, and they feel really nice, especially in the film, especially in the looped version. Okay, so these are the G2 Dreamland switches. They look absolutely phenomenal. The springs are crazy looking, and they've got a really, really short throw, so if that's your thing, these are the switches for you. Check us out on www.loomkeeps.com. One latest product that we recently added is our Loom Keeps t-shirts, which have awesome keyboard related catchphrases on it that you will love. Check us out, and please remember to subscribe to our channel for more Switch videos as well as other products that we talk about on our channel.